Garry Kasparov demonstrated tactical blow when he was very young. This is a game between Lputian and Kasparov in 1976, and Lputian starts this game with pawn to d4, and Kasparov plays knight f6, c4, and guess what? Kasparov plays King's Indian defense, his favorite defense, and knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6, King's Indian, and in this game white plays f3, Sämisch variation. Against Sämisch, many players play castle and then e5 or c5. These are the main lines, but Kasparov plays knight c6, which at that time was a modern line, and black decides to delay his castling and develop his queen side. White plays bishop e2, e3, and here black plays a6, queen d2, and rook b8. So-called pawn of attack in King's Indian. Black, as I said, delays his kingside castle, and he wants to play b5 in some lines. For example, after knight g2, black can play b5, and these are very sharp lines. After d5, knight d5, you can analyze this variation. And also black can play bishop d7, then plays b5. These are the main ideas for black. But in the game, white plays an interesting idea. He plays rook to b1. He wants to play b4 and get more space on the king side. And here Kasparov castles and b4. White wants to gain space and in some moments plays b5. Here the best line for black is to play bishop d7 and allow white to develop his knight. After knight g2, black can play b5, which is the main line, or in other cases black can play e5 if white do not develop his knight. But Kasparov plays e5, which is a hasty decision, and after d5, knight d4, white plays knight g2, and this position is slightly better for white. Of course, white cannot take the knight because after e takes d4, knight takes d4, black has a tactical blow. Stop the video and see if you can find it. And here, very simple move for black. Knight takes e4 wins the game because after queen takes e4, bishop c3 exists, rook e8 exists. I mean, white is collapsed, so this is not possible. White cannot give up his dark square bishop, but he plays knight e2 and he challenged the knight on d4. And if you exchange it, then white simply plays bishop takes e2. He castles and he has a very good position and a very strong attack on the queen side. So this is not a very good line for black. And here Kasparov had to sacrifice a pawn. He plays c5, guards the knight on d4, but of course white en passant. And here if black plays knight c6, it's a positional disaster because after that d5 square is weak, pawn on d6 is weak, and black has nothing. So black has to sacrifice a pawn. He plays b takes c6, knight takes d4, e takes d4, and bishop takes d4. White wins a pawn in the center, and he's ready to play bishop e2 castle, and white has a very good position. But here the momentum is with black, and black should start a dynamic attack before white goes to castle. In this position, Kasparov could have played c5, which is an interesting option, but white is slightly better. Kasparov instead plays rook to e8, which is a tricky move and sets up a trap for white, and white cannot spot it. Here in this position, white plays the most natural move. He plays bishop e2, which is a bad move, but it's very hard to because black plays rook e8. He wants to put pressure on the king. He's ready to play d5. He wants to play c5, and okay, white says I play bishop e2 and safeguard my king, and next move I will castle. What could be wrong with this? Kasparov himself mentions that bishop d3 is the best move in this position, or even a3, but who will play a3 in this position when his king is on e1? But bishop d3 is the best move. White is slightly better. This is all I can say. But bishop e2 played in the game, and here Kasparov launched a very strong attack, and he plays pawn to c5 and start an attack on the dark squares. Of course, white should take, because if he takes on f6, this is horrible. After queen takes f6, black can play queen to h4. Even bishop takes f6 exists, and after that bishop to h4 and a very strong domination on the dark squares. So white cannot take on f6, and if he goes backward, then c takes b4. So white has to take, and here comes the blow. Black plays knight takes e4, a very strong move, which probably white overlooked or miscalculated. In this position, it's clear that white cannot play knight takes e4 because of rook takes b1 check. He cannot take the rook because of knight takes d2. Queen is hanging, so he should take f takes e4. And here comes another strong move. Queen to h4 check, checks the white king. And here, if king moves, I believe black can just simply play rook takes b1, and after knight takes b1, queen takes e4. This is a double attack on the knight on b1 and bishop on d4. For example, if bishop takes here, probably queen takes b1, and after king here, queen takes h1 exists, and I guess black is simply winning. So white cannot move his king. In this position, white blunders and played a very bad move. He miscalculated the line. He should have played bishop f2, which after bishop takes c3, bishop takes h4, rook takes b1, king f2, bishop takes d2, rook takes b1, bc5, rook b8. It's slightly better for black because of the pawn structure, but white probably can hold, and it might be ended in a draw. So it was the best line for white, but white saw another line, and he played g3 in this position. He attacked the black queen, and here in this position, Kasparov, of course, plays rook takes b1 because knight takes b1 is clearly lost, because after queen takes e4, it's a triple attack, rook on h1, knight on b1, and bishop on d4. So it is not white's idea, and here he plays king f2. And here Kasparov himself mentions that his opponent after this move stand up from his chair, and he was very proud that he found this move, and now he wants to play rook takes b1. The queen is hanging. He probably thought that, okay, Kasparov in this position plays something like queen h3, and then I might just simply play knight takes b1, and he saw that he might be winning. But here comes the brilliant move of this game, which white missed, and Kasparov unleashed a very strong move, which is rook to b2, a tactical shot that white missed. After this move, white cannot take the rook because of bishop takes d4. And if he do not take the rook, then white is simply lost, because then if queen e3, for example, black just can simply move his queen to anywhere that he wants, for example, to h5. Can also play bishop takes d4. Black is simply winning. In the game, white after rook b2 plays the best move and takes the queen, and after rook takes d2, bishop takes g7. White managed to create some counterplay, and in this position, Kasparov didn't play rook b2, and he didn't want to play like this and keep the exchange, because after that, after c takes d6, white can play c5, and it might be even dangerous. But Kasparov plays another strong move, and he plays an exchange sacrifice after rook takes c3, king takes c3, d takes c5. Now black has a winning endgame because his bishop is much better than this bishop, and his pawn structure are much better than white. Horrible pawn structure with lots of weaknesses. I guess it's 5 weaknesses in the white's pawn structure. So white is simply lost. He plays bishop d3, Kasparov plays bishop b7, rook e1, and here rook e5. A prophylactic move. If he had played f5, white could have played e5. So Kasparov first plays rook e5. Now he wants to play f5. He wants to play rook h5. So black wants to win a pawn, and here he plays f5, rook b1, bishop takes e4, rook to b6, and pawn to f4. White Kasparov here ignores the pawn on a6, and he just wants to push his pawn, and after that he might even get a queen. So rook takes a6, f3, bishop to f1, bishop to f5. Black wants to play rook to e1, and here white plays rook a7, king h6, king d2, pawn to f2, rook e1 is coming, bishop e2, and here another strong move, bishop to g4, bishop d3, rook e1, rook f7, and here blacks the rook with bishop to f5. Black wants to create a queen, a4, bishop takes d3, rook takes f2, and rook f1. Last tactical move, and here black is completely winning. This is one of the games that made Garry Kasparov very famous. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if this is the case, please like the video and write your thoughts and comments below this video, and please subscribe to my channel. Have a good day and enjoy chess and life.